2026 meeting of the Fitchburg School Committee. I call this meeting to order. Please be advised FATV is conducting an audio and video recording of this meeting for public broadcast. I ask anyone in the audience that's recording this meeting, please identify yourself. Seeing none. Now I ask if you can please place your electronic devices into silent mode. We did that. I'm good. And next we will do the salute to the flag. I will lead us in the salute to the flag. Lovely. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, next up on our agenda, school committee members and student reports. School committee chair report, none at this time. Resource subcommittee report from the April 28th meeting.
Okay. We will be doing a budget update tonight. So we went over the budget the other night, last week, and superintendent, assistant superintendent will be giving an update on that tonight. Some of the things, any questions on?
No, not yet. No.
I just wanted to make a comment that, as a member of the committee, that the administration team has done a wonderful job with the budget. Every time you had to look at things again and make additional cuts, you always kept the best needs in mind, those of the students. And I know from the public view, the school department budget looks exorbitant. But we also have to understand that there's a formula with the state that requires cities and towns to give so much money. And there can be consequences if it doesn't happen. So I just wanted to just say something, just because I don't think there's just so much to the budget that I'm not sure everyone completely understands, that there's more than just...
When you start talking about the budget, most people zone right out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, right.
Yeah. But thank you.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. It's a team effort.
Oh, absolutely. And we see that, and I'm sure Pete and
I agree.
Jim say the same thing. It's you work well as a team.
Thank you.
I mean, I'll just add, building off that, Debbie, there are a lot of communities across the Commonwealth where the mayor and the school committee are at odds. And I have never felt that here in Fitchburg.
Me either.
We do the best that we can to balance our budget and meet net school spending, and the schools do the best that they can within that allocation to meet the needs of our students. And we all understand our roles and our challenges, and I feel like we work very well as a team.
I agree.
And that's how it
I
should be.
agree.
Thank you, Mayor.
Yeah.
I agree. It's the meetings all year long, a couple of times a month, and what the mayor, the superintendent, assistant superintendent for business, and Glenda, keeping us honest with it too, and the school committee. We're overseeing a $118 million budget, and we all pretty much agree, we stay within the bounds and live within our means, and it's a team effort. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, do you want to do school building needs?
School building needs. School building maintenance, again, our list isn't quite as long as it usually is, but just a few of the highlights that Dan highlighted for us last week. School building maintenance carpenters tighten up the handrails for the ramp going to the main entrance at Memorial. School building maintenance carpenters fixed the locks on the field house door that wasn't secured properly. There was a floor tile in the basement South Street building and a piece that broke off. The tile was assumed positive for asbestos. School building maintenance carpenters with 16 hours operation and maintaining maintenance training was able to properly remove the broken tile and made sure the area is clean. That's something that our HERA training for our school building maintenance, people were able to save us money because they're able to fix some small jobs where there is asbestos.
Yes.
At Rheingold, several asbestos ceiling tiles were removed in the third grade wing. A teacher hung streamers from the ceiling grid. The wing had to be shut down until our hygienist from Atlas could come out and provide us with further instructions. He determined that we have to have the area professionally cleaned by an abatement company, take air samples from the classroom in the area, and once everything came back clear, we could open the space back up to students and staff. Compass Restoration came in later today, clean up the space after students left for the day. Everything was well taken care of. Goodrich, the third floor girls were clogging again. Roto-Rooter had to come out. The baseball, softball, and soccer field at Fitchburg High all received tick treatment during April vacation. Proper notification was sent out to all students, parents, and staff. This was conducted by Gadsby Grounds. Room 110 at Lonjo was experiencing some leaking coming from the ceiling. Royal Steam was called in to fix it. At Crocker Field, it was discovered the portions of the gas line to the clubhouse were rotted and had to be replaced. Royal Steam again fixed it. Our carpenters installed new wall mats in comm room on the second floor at Rheingold. So those are just a number of the little things that our maintenance team does on a regular basis. They're kept busy. Other capital needs updates. Rheingold HVAC project, all bids in, 3.54 million budgeted. Was the bid, the budget was for 4.2 million. North building at South Street Elementary School, we're looking at that to do something with that. Walkout was held Wednesday. How did that go?
Yeah, we've had 5 abatement companies do the walkthrough at the North Building, and the bids are due Thursday, so super excited to
all
see
low.
that.
Low
Yep.
bids.
It'll be good to be able to take care of that wing and then assess next steps.
So with we got a quote for the company to do an initial assessment,
They
right?
did the scope of what needs to be done. We built that out to specs.
We put an RFP, we had
Yep.
5 abatement companies come visit the site, check it out,
Yes.
and they are submitting bids.
I hope they all do.
When are they due?
Thursday.
Thursday.
At 2. So yes, yeah, that's a big one.
The Lonjo cafeteria meeting room, the bids came in all within budget.
Yep.
This is funded by Sodexo. The Lonjo gym floor estimate contract development, $170,000 winning bid, will be removal of the stands, city contractor under contract for $39K. Removal of dividers, city contract under contract, $12K. New stands bidding, $150K. The Crocker Field Piers bidding documents in preparation, waiting on CDBG grant to supplement project, $70K that we got. Thank you, Mayor, for
Yeah,
that. for
thank you.
Crocker Field.
It goes to the city council for final approval.
Yes.
Yeah, next one.
But yes, we were
When's this?
13th.
13th.
able to find some funds.
It's great. Thank you.
Thank you.
We are reviewing proposals for security cameras at Crocker Field. And that's about it. Questions? Bob?
Superintendent and myself and Mary Alexander gave me a tour of all the schools in the Fitchburg School District. And some of them are pretty outdated. Some of them have been modernized and brought up to par. But I noticed Longjo Auditorium and Memorial Auditorium. So something like that, that's a vast project. Is there like a grant that we could submit to do that, or is something that has to come out of our budget?
It would have to come out of the city's budget. We've been looking for grants to try to get this done. There's not much out there. Jeremy has come up with kind of a proposal in increments to get that back up
A
and running.
phased
Like a
approach, because the
phased
total's
approach.
like 9 million?
9 to 10 million to completely get it done, but
Yeah.
go ahead, Jeremy, to get it
Well, I mean,
opened
I
up.
think with Longjo's Auditorium, we did have an architectural firm complete a full engineering analysis and schematic design. So the first phase of like, this is what really needs to be done. This gives you a cost estimate of what it would be. Here's how you could put it out and just package it for public bidding. And their estimates were in the range of real bare bones, you can use it, it's functional, about 4 million. You want to really modernize it and turn it into, you know, an auditorium that would be, I think,
Probably the biggest one in the city,
maximizing a
right?
lot of the aesthetics of the original design, you know, 1,500 seats. I mean, it's a
And then
massive.
bringing it up to ADA.
Bringing everything
compliance.
up to ADA, all the AV, you know, would be top-notch. That's about 10 million. So we're looking at some options with the Mass School Building Authority, because Longjo has a number of other, I would say, needs, you know, associated with it. It'd be bathroom gutting and repair, brick repointing of the full exterior, and auditorium. So I think if we can package something, even though it's not a brand-new building, we'd work with the city to see if it's possible, because that could come in if it was an accelerated repair that got approved. And we did speak to MSBA, and they said, yeah, you can definitely apply. It's usually roofs, windows, doors, and then heating systems for their repair projects, and then new buildings like Crocker. But they said with something unique like that, and given the age of it, and given the fact that MSBA has done a building analysis and rated that building as poor in terms of condition, we could potentially get an 80 cents on the dollar funding agreement, you know, project to do some of those things. You know, it might be a long shot, but I think it's worth trying.
Sounds good.
Might be a few years, but we've been working on this project now for a few years, and I think slowly we will get it pieced together.
Yeah, last year we discussed if there's anything that we can do to phase it in. You
Yeah.
know, maybe we can't afford to do it all at once, but if we could break it apart so that we could tackle it to eventually get there.
Agreed. And Memorial's Auditorium needs AV attention, too. We have
Yeah.
quotes and estimates for that because it's a great space, but it needs to be modernized in terms of audio-visual, sound, the visual type, you know, screens and the projection type systems. that
Just
you
the
see.
sound is very,
Sound is
crackly.
a bit of a, let's, you know, glue and tape and all that kind of, every time, you know, when you're in there's a lot of different, takes a lot to get it running. So we do have some proposals for that. That's much more reasonable. But even there, it's about 200,000.
You said that was audio-visual?
Yeah, yes, for the Memorial Auditorium.
But we have all these projects written down.
Oh, yeah, they're in the
and
capital plan.
They're in our plan,
Chip away at it, that's it, you know?
chipping away at it.
I think we can stay on top of Memorial. We talk a couple $100,000. It's not much compared to something like, you know, Lonjo, 10
Right.
million to,
I think is anybody using Memorial at this time? We used to, I mean, when I was principal there, we had a lot of outside groups, dance groups and so forth using it.
Do we even get a lot of building requests from Memorial?
We get a fair amount from Memorial's Auditorium, not to the same degree that Fitchburg High's Auditorium is requested, but we do. And
We've had some recently.
yeah, we certainly have, and I would definitely think Longjo would receive a lot. You know, if that ever was reopened, because of the location and the fact that it'd be pretty significant in size, too.
how many seats does Fitchburg High Auditorium hold?
736, I
Wow, this
believe.
would be more than double.
Well, that's with the balcony seats. And so if you did if you did a full renovation, bringing it back to its 1936, you know, opening, it would be 1,503, I think is the seat.
Wow.
But
Gotta win the lottery.
the architect was not super optimistic about about the balcony and thought maybe you keep it to about 1,000 and just do the lower section. So
Still a
anyway,
lot.
we have, phasing it might be the way to go.
We'll keep you updated on it.
Yeah.
So,
And maybe there are some graduates out there that are quite successful now and would like to see that reopened.
if anyone's out there is listening
You
and you
know,
are interested, please contact me, 376 South Street.
We could
have a
talk about
GoFan
dedicating
QR
it
code.
to someone that's willing to,
You never know.
So the 170,000, that's all in for the wood floor for Longstrow.
The gym floor, yes.
And then the bleachers too.
And
Bleachers will go out to bid in
and the bleachers are 150,000,
roughly.
and we have
Kennedy
that.
seating for 600.
We have the funding for the bleachers?
We have it in the general fund budget. Yep.
We
We budgeted both of those.
budgeted for that.
Yep.
What about the ceiling?
At Longstreth? Yeah.
Ceiling, we tried to phase into the Sodexo cafeteria project. We didn't get approval on that. So we are looking at that. That's in the phase, that's in the project. We couldn't build it into this one.
Do you have a cost estimate for placing of those tiles?
I can get one. We had
They
the
look,
architect look at it.
They don't look good.
No, they don't.
They're a
A
little,
lot of staining.
Discolored.
Discolored.
And they're missing in places.
Yeah.
I don't think we got a cost estimate
We
on
did
that.
not, but I think I could have a
Are they
ballpark one.
asbestos?
I don't know, we have to get them tested probably, right? Do we know if they're asbestos? Are they asbestos? Yeah,
The
I'm sure they
glue?
are.
Yeah.
Depends either the actual tile and or
But
the
those
glue.
tiles might predate
I think they're
the
so
use of
old that
asbestos.
they are not.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
they could, you're right.
You're right.
Yeah,
1936?
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they were made before asbestos was discovered, huh?
They didn't call it that.
Before it was
That
widely
helps,
used.
that
Even
helps.
before I was born.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Debbie, Jim, anything
No?
else building needs?
Good report, good report.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Pete. Policy Subcommittee?
Nothing to report at this time. We will be meeting on May 20th at the central office,
Talking
third
cell phone policy?
Cell phone
third floor
policy?
conference room, 5 o'clock, cell phone policy, come one and all.
Please, we're working on it.
We are.
Okay, great. The Student Support Subcommittee met tonight?
Yes, we did. We met at 5 o'clock this evening. We reviewed and we discussed the finalized procedure for the students' advanced placement policy, and that will be implemented in the student handbook in the fall. Our next meeting that was scheduled for June 1st has been canceled, so we will next be meeting in September, on September 14th in the fall.
All right.
Thank you.
Any comments or questions on that? All right, seeing none, thank you very much, Lindsay.
Thank you.
School Personnel Subcommittee, nothing to report. Student Advisory Committee, we will meet June 15th? Is that our last meeting
That's our
for
last
the
meeting for the
year?
year.
Okay. Is Ayana?
She's not here today. No. They had a long, Ayana was in the play this weekend at the high school. It was great. The kids did great. Thank
She
you
needed
to-
an extra rest
She
day?
probably needed another day to rest. She had 4 performances this weekend, and it was outstanding.
Yeah?
It was awesome. I went on Saturday afternoon, and it was something very proud of our kids. Tabitha did a great job, and Talia did a great job also. So, thank you, everyone.
All right, so we will wait to hear our student representative report for next meeting. May 20th, is that our next meeting?
May 18th,
May 18th,
14 days from now.
okay,
May
that makes sense.
May 20th is the alumni meeting.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, great. Okay, let's see, next up on our agenda, we have the approval of the minutes from the school committee meeting from April 27th.
Make a motion, we approve the April 27th meeting.
Second?
Motion and second to approve the minutes from the April 27th school committee. Questions or comments on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
That is unanimous. Thank you very much. Next on our agenda, we have communications regarding the CAPS Collaborative Board of Director nominations and the Keystone Collaborative Executive Board nominations.
Yep, so it's our annual vote to nominate someone to be on both boards for next year. Currently, Pete Stevens is the representative for CAPS, and I took over when Rosemary's did not get reelected for Keystone.
Okay, is this, okay, so this is an action item?
Yes,
So
it
we
is.
could bring this up now out of order if you'd like, or we can just,
We can bring it up.
I nominate Mr. Stevens for representative to the CAPS Collaborative.
Second.
motion and second to take action item 26623 out of order and nominate Pete Stevens to serve as the Board of Directors CAPS Collaborative's representative for 2026-2027 school year. Questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, that is unanimous. And for the Executive Board for Keystone Collaborative,
And Mr. Thompson?
Second.
motion and second to recommend Superintendent Thompson to serve on the Executive Board of the Keystone Collaborative 2026-2027 school year as our representative. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That's unanimous as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, both of you, for being our reps.
This is, I've been on it for 16 years now
That's it?
for CAPS, and I've been chairman for the last 10. So I like to think I have saved us.
Well, I visited you last meeting. You're on a tight ship, so I
I
appreciate
try-
it.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you both for doing
Yes,
that.
Yes, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. And thank you, Superintendent.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, great. Next, we did the minutes. Public comment?
No public comment received.
No public comment received. Anyone in the audience that would like to speak public comment? Seeing none, we will move on in the agenda. Superintendent's report. That's my favorite part.
Favorite part, all right. We have a short report this evening. I'd like to welcome Miss Carnabucci and from Memorial and Miss Duran from Longsjo. These are both of the coordinators for our Washington DC field trip.
Is it that time
It's
already?
that time of year. Tonight is the final approval, which was in your
Good to see
packet.
you again.
So, take it away. Thank you both for coming.
So I don't know if you have it all in front of you, but we did 4 individual-based fundraisers this year, because that was the feedback we got.
4 individual what?
Individual fundraisers. So we do a combination of fundraisers. We do some that are school-wide that just get divided evenly between the kids. And then we also do individual ones where kids can earn as much as, or as little as they want. One thing we did get from some of the parents is they wanted more individual ones. So this year we went from 2 to 4. So we added in the coffee and tea, and then we also added in the Domino's pizza. We repeated the popcorn and the cookie dough again, which were very successful. And then we also had a bunch of donations this year too as well. Memorial, I think we had about 2,400 just in donations, which is really, really nice. So this year we actually have enough money to cover the tips for the tour guides and the bus drivers and lunch for the kids on the way down, which normally they have to provide their own for all of that stuff, which is really great that we have enough for that this year.
Excellent.
Nice job.
So overall, your total cost per student was $716 this year?
Yes.
That's amazing.
It's amazing,
Wasn't
which
it like
thank you.
850 last year?
I paid for my son to go last year, and I think it was $1,100.
So the tour company was awesome. They kept the price from the tour company the same for us, which was the $716.
Yeah.
And then obviously we're very, very fortunate that you all help and pay for the
Yeah.
buses out of the budget for the kids, because otherwise it would have been $950 a student.
This is great.
Which is a lot. So we're very fortunate. The tour company is awesome. They try to keep the price as low as they can.
That's great.
So it's a really great trip. The kids are excited. We did a ton of fundraising this year, taking in that feedback from parents. We're going to continue those next year and just kind of get more feedback from them, what they liked or didn't like. So, yeah.
Wonderful.
I don't know if you have any questions for us.
So I'm assuming you're going to be doing this again next year?
Yes.
All right. So when you do your individual fundraisers, you can get our emails from
Yes.
superintendent. I'd be happy to contribute.
Oh, yeah, that's like odd, that's like shooting fish in a barrel.
Yeah.
Just come after us.
The kids this year, last year, I feel like we had, some kids were like really hustling for it. I mean, we have a student who only did the last fundraiser and raised her entire trip. We were like, where have you been
Wow.
all year? Like, she actually raised too much money. The tour company has to refund her, actually.
Wow.
And give back money, so she will have money for spending money, which is awesome. So the tour company will also do that. That's another benefit. Some other tour companies won't. They're like, nope, it just kind of goes into the pot. Our company will actually refund students if they fundraise over their amount. So we tell parents not to worry. They're like, oh, we don't know, don't want to overpay. They will refund you and send the check back to you.
That's great that they do that.
So we actually do have a lot of students this year who are getting money back. So the ones who wanted to fundraise, they were really going for it. And then some, we had a lot this year who their parents were just paying for, and we were like, there's fundraising, okay. Yeah, so it was nice. We raised a lot this year. We're covering those things which we haven't been in the past been able to do. So it's really nice.
Thank you.
I love the itinerary. There's a lot of history and current events, and I see you going to Orioles Stadium, not the
Yes,
Nationals.
we got to go Orioles last year.
which is a
too,
nice-
for the
nice
first
part.
time.
Yeah.
We've been doing the Nationals for a while, so it was nice for even us teachers. We were like, oh, I've never been here.
Different
Yes,
team.
yes.
Go ahead, Bob.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a great idea. It's 140 eighth graders, huh?
Yeah, there's about that. Usually towards the end, we do start to have the kids who change their mind. They get nervous and kind of drop out, but that's usually what we end up being is about the 140.
Right. So how did you come up with the number of chaperone? 12?
So
Where's
the
12
tour
come from?
company actually includes their ratio of 1 to 15. We actually usually take more. If we ever have students that need support staff, we get the extra, so they're in there. We usually like to have some sort of administrator, so the dean for Longja will be coming again, just so we have some sort of admin presence. We try to vary who we take as well, so we usually try to take one of our like emotional support staff from one of the schools, so like a counselor, clinician, someone like that. So we really try to vary kind of who we have for the chaperones. But the ratio is, the tour company, the prices of the kids includes 1 to 15, and then we always take a few extra to try and kind of make that smaller. And then that way too, if there's ever an emergency, someone can take on another group and while they're dealing with something else as well. And the other thing we do is the dean who's coming with us, we don't give him an actual group of students. So then that way, if there's something, he can either help deal with something or we can, and that group has that other person to step in and monitor as well. So we try to actually bring more than the tour company gives us in that packet.
Makes sense.
Thank you.
Are you still taking a picture at the Capitol building?
Oh, yeah, and, I forgot yours this year. So we do, we have it from last year too. We try to bring the one every year for you guys because the kids really do appreciate it and they love the trip. It's awesome. They really step up and surprise us every year, so, yeah.
It's still not too late to make donations, right?
No, not at all. Listen, anything helps the kids.
Yep.
Who do you make it out to?
Who do we make it out to? Now.
Say, City of Fitchburg, attention.
Yep.
DC trip, and then we'll
Yeah.
get to the right account.
Didn't we have
The
a link?
GoFan one is really easy to use.
Yeah, we had the GoFan one.
Closed on the 15th.
Can we open it again, maybe?
Yeah,
I bet Todd could probably
just-
open it. That,
Why don't we open the link again and we'll send it right to you?
I
so
still
you
have,
can make a donation.
I have Jeremy's email that he sent to us
yes.
quite a few months ago.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's still there, and I keep forgetting. So, yeah.
Don't
if you
feel
could
bad.
If you reopen it, I was going to do that tomorrow, so.
Yes,
You can.
yeah, listen,
We'll get that link to you.
anything that helps the kids.
All right.
Because the other thing we've done before is if there's any extra funding, which there's usually not because we give out like as much as we can, but there's one year where we had like $50, we save it, keep a sheet so we can bring it over to the next year too. So even if for some reason donating after the kids wouldn't need it this year, we save it and keep track of all of that stuff too. I don't know if you saw our spreadsheets and stuff, but we try to keep our own record of everything and all of that, so.
You guys do a great job organizing this. Thank you.
I think it's the 40th year this year. And one of the coolest things, that very first year, Rich Masciarelli and I started it. Now, when they take that picture at the Capitol building, Rich Masciarelli was on the left-hand side. and then they started taking the picture, and he ran all the way
Oh,
across.
they still do that.
And on the
yeah.
right-hand side, so when you got the picture,
Yep.
Rich Masharelli was in the picture on both sides.
Both sides.
We made one of the newbie chaperones. That's what we do every year. So whoever the new person is has to run.
That's cool.
So there was one time we had 2 new chaperones. We made them both run.
Yeah.
And they actually like crisscrossed
Yeah.
sides. So it was really funny.
No
Both
hazing,
on
that's
both
hazing,
sides.
right?
No,
What?
That's
no, it's not.
hazing,
It's
you
not
can't do
hazing.
that.
We all did it.
So that was always cool.
Yeah.
It was fun.
So yes, they do. They still do the runner. They still make you run to the other side. Oh yeah.
That's great.
This is your third or fourth year doing this?
4th year doing it. Yeah.
So I just want to thank you for, it's not just the 4 or 5 days in DC. It's a year-long project, and the fact you devote the time so that it's a great trip for the kids, and I'm sure for a lot of them, it's something that they'll remember for a long, long time. And I want to thank you and the chaperones and everybody doing what you do so that it is a fun trip for everybody, not just the
Yes.
kids.
We love doing it. It's my
Yeah.
favorite.
Yeah.
I will not give it up. So.
Great.
It's also appreciated that you mentioned that you took what you heard last year as far as fundraising and went with it.
Yeah, we really do try, because it's about the kids and we want it to be the most like beneficial for them. So trying to
For them to
in
take
the-
ownership.
Yeah.
Yes, and getting that feedback and really listening, because a lot of these kids have siblings. So when the parents give us feedback, we know that sibling's coming up. So, making sure we're taking those things into account for the future is a big thing for us, so.
It's not just the Washington trip, but other trips that our kids take that we hear about how well behaved
gonna say that, yep.
our kids are and how well thought of they are.
Oh, yeah.
And how proud they make us.
Every time.
I mean, last year, I think you had someone stop you
Yep.
from another school district and say something about how our students were so well-behaved and respectful.
Oh, yeah. And then one year they were mad and wanted to rat out another school. They were like, can you call their superintendent? He was so messy. They went and cleaned up their mess. They were like horrified by other kids. I was like, okay, we're not going to go and email their superintendent, guys. But yes, they should have cleaned up. Like, okay. But they do.
Do they have matching T-shirts?
Yes. Oh, yeah. So the T-shirts is included in their price. We put it in there ahead of time. So they mail like a refund check. It goes to you, and then we have Jeremy send the check over to the T-shirt company. So their T-shirts are included in that too. And then we have the tips and the lunch on the way down, which is really nice. The other thing we do offer when we don't have that is the school cafeteria staff always let us have the kids send in an order ahead of time. So if they need a lunch that next morning or whatever, on the way up, if they can't afford it when we stop at a rest stop. So they always have a food option. So that way for students who don't have the money to get something at the rest stop, we do have lunch options for them. But this year it's actually really nice because they'll all be able to do that because we'll have the funding for them. So.
Sounds like it's
Good job.
Last question. Have anybody reach out to the congressional office, let them know that you guys are going to be there, the Senate office or the House congressional? No? You don't have time for that? It's too
So
crazy?
a lot of stuff, they don't do, like the tours and things like that anymore after like all of the things that have happened. They're secure, so like even
Yeah.
the Capitol building, they used to be able to tour. We haven't been able to go back into
All right.
it and stuff, so.
You have a pretty tight schedule.
Yeah, we do, and we do a lot, we pack a lot in. We got the Holocaust Museum this year again, which is a hard one. The kids always love that one. There was one year we didn't get in and they were really mad, so we were like, sorry.
Did you get the Spy Museum?
No, the Air and Space and the Spy, they've been
You
kind
have to
of
pick either one,
redoing,
yeah.
yeah. So they haven't we actually haven't gone there at all in the past 4 years because they've been refurbishing, so they said a lot of things are taken out while they're redoing it before they bring everything back in. But the African American Museum we got too, which is also a very popular one, and the kids love it, and they actually do really awesome. There's other kids who are running around, and you're supposed to, for their policy, keep all together. Our kids are fine. Our kids stay with us, or even if they get a little ahead, they wait before going into the next room. There is there's a display in there. I forget what it is. I think it's Emmett Till. There's no flash photography. There's no phones. Everyone's like dead silent. Our kids have never been told to put anything away, so they really do rise to the occasion. They represent us really, really well. We're very proud of them every time, so.
So, school committee, my recommendation is to approve the Washington DC field trip.
Can we take that out of order, you know?
Make a motion to approve action item 26-625. Approve the superintendent's recommendation to approve the out-of-state field trip to Washington DC for 140 of our 8th grade students from June 9th through June 12th, 2026.
Second the motion?
Motion and second to take 26-625 out of order and approve the superintendent's recommendation to approve the out-of-state field trip to Washington DC. Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
That is unanimously approved.
Have a great,
Thank you.
happy
Thank you,
time.
everyone. Have a great
Well done, thank you.
Thanks again for
See you in the fall. Yeah. Safe travels.
Yeah,
Thank you both.
take care.
All right. Now, for the main event this evening, it's our public budget hearing. And Mayor, I think we have a different protocol to follow here.
Yes,
Right.
I recall the different protocol. Must hold a public hearing. Blah, blah, blah.
Budget book line
So
items.
reaching the bullet item on the agenda,
They're tricking
you
us.
should state, we're going into the open budget hearing.
Okay, sounds good. So from your report, we will go, do you want to go straight right into the budget hearing?
Yep, we'll go right into the budget hearing.
Okay. We are opening the budget hearing.
All right, thank you. So you all have the 130-plus page slides deck that is our budget book in your packet that you had to look over. We have 6 to 7 slides that we're going to go over, kind of an overview. You've seen this before, nothing has changed. And then after the slides, then we'll open it up for public comment, and then we'll go into deliberation and answer any questions the school committee may have regarding the budget.
And just to the school committee members, I would say for each slide, if you want to ask questions.
Absolutely.
Feel free to ask questions, for each slide rather than waiting till the end, and you'll forget what you were going to ask.
So Mr. Roach is going to walk through these 6 slides with us. Again, stop if you have any questions, and then we'll discuss after. So, Mr. Roach, take it away.
All right. So this is, I think, a pretty good overview slide that shows what we're required to do as a public school entity in Massachusetts. So we receive that enrollment that's our foundation enrollment that includes all of the students that attend and then some of the students who are public school attending that live in Fitchburg. So it's 5826. That then allows the state to determine the actual foundation budget that's required by any community in the and/or school district in the state to meet that number, and this year it is $118,652,852, the composition of which is $92,786,332 from the state, the Chapter 70 aid, and then the city's contribution is $25,866,332, and you can see the comparisons to FY26, the amount increased, the change, and then the percentage change. Recently, because this takes a long time for the city, it's very challenging to determine what the actual indirect cost will be, because a lot of that has to do with health insurance costs. It has to do with retiree costs. It has to do with the number of school choice students who are either coming into the city or school, at Fitchburg Public Schools, I should say, or who are choosing another district in addition to charter schools. So right now, and this can change, and it does change throughout the year, but right now, the number that we're using is $31,927,478. And you can see the increase there and the percentage increase. So the required net school spending sort of direct school budget would be $86,725,374. We can move to the next. Well, if there's questions, certainly glad to.
Next slide.
Next slide shows a breakdown of our major personnel units with a couple of notes. So the number of unit members are listed. So Unit A would be the professional staff, teachers, guidance counselors, clinicians, occupation therapists, a number of other roles would be in there, deans of students, librarians. It's our largest unit, and it is our unit that's licensed in terms of the role that they have. You can see the increase from FY26 to FY27. That little upside-down V, I'm not sure what that actual symbol is called, but that includes everything. And is not, the carrot. There we go.
Yeah.
The carrot, that's the total including grant-funded staff, and we'll show once we remove the grant-funded staff after. Paraprofessionals, 165, clerical, custodial, nurses, Unit B, non-union, and you can see the total then is $69,936,539 for the 864 staff. Now, that does not include cafeteria workers, cafeteria managers, some of other costs that we do pick up, like substitute teachers and those kind of staff who are substitute, whether they're long-term sub, daily subs, or nurse subs. And we have looked at this slide. We've also looked at this slide, which shows a breakdown of our major sites, and those would be the schools for sure, but there would also be other departments that manage large operational aspects of the school system, special education, for example, transportation, school building maintenance. If there's significant increases, it's due to specific investments. So administration, that's to purchase 2 graduating class Chromebook adoptions. In addition to, we are in a position where we need to update teacher units, so we have 100 teacher units as well. They get a unit that's, certainly not what the students have, but so it's a little bit more expensive, thus there is a pretty sizable increase there. School building maintenance, we have a number of projects. We reviewed several. Mr. Stevens reviewed a number of those during his report. Thus, you can see a pretty significant increase there as well. And overall, it's about a 5.59% increase from the previous year. And the state budget for education across the state, the multi-billion-dollar state budget, is actually at about a 5.5, so a little bit higher. And we can move to the next slide. These are those positions that we have reviewed and that we are asking for approval on due to the needs of the student population or programming initiatives like Chapter 74 plumbing program that we have talked about, and I know Ms. Whitaker discussed last week at our school committee meeting from Monty Tech. So that's where we are on those. We have not updated this from last week. I did put a note at the bottom that the actual master's step 6 salary is used for projections. That's not necessarily where everybody is hired or onboarded, but we just use that to be, it's kind of safe, and it's right in the middle of the overall salary scale. And then salaries are projected until the positions are filled. We can move to the next slide. This shows the overview of the large kind of, the big picture umbrella. So the school budget for fiscal year 27, once you remove the indirect costs, would be $96,200,000. Salaries rolled out there. Expenses, so that's just all non-salaries, but it does include longevity for those teachers and staff who have that in their collective bargaining agreement as a benefit. $18,630,000. Transportation that's the number that we're utilizing there with the city's auditor department and the city's department. So then our total Fitchburg public school budget with transportation, $95,867,838. And then the direct spending budget, so this is managing all of the different sites, not including indirect costs, that's managed by the city. We do manage transportation, but this would be for the school-specific items, is $86,391,547. And again, draft mode to some degree. It does change a little bit. This next slide shows you, I think, a further breakdown of that. Once we address, we know a certain amount of staff in Unit A are paid for with various grants. We know that certain paraprofessional positions are paid for with a specific grant. We know some of our non-union employees are paid for with specific grants, so in nurses as well. Once we remove all of that, we get that 69 million down to about 67.7. We combine the two major non-personnel lines, that'd be, which would be transportation and then stuff, supplies, materials, school building maintenance. That's 28,106. You have a 95,867, so we're below the 96,2 that we're working with the city on. You take that transportation out, it gets you to 86,391, 547. Then there's the indirect costs there, rounded up a little bit. And now we're at 118,319, 547. We have got to get to 118,652, 852 per the Mass regulation about net school spending on your foundation budget. So we do have a delta in the green. That's good. You don't want to be in the red there. Don't want the parentheses around the number. I've learned that in this room. So we're in a pretty good position with those previous positions. We've been building them back into the personnel lines. So we have a little bit of, flexibility in terms of making some tactical additions and also possibly having some funding available, as emergencies arise. And we've talked about some of those pressure points in those quarterly updates.
We talked about special education.
Yeah, that's-
Transportation, out of district. We're very comfortable having this cushion right here.
Yeah, they're unknown costs, and that's where that can be tough. So I think we're in a pretty good spot there. And then, this is accurate this time. So we have May 12th is the next resource subcommittee meeting, and then we'll have the final reading of the Fitchburg Public Schools budget on May 18th, and then, hopefully a final vote.
Final vote?
Yep.
Okay.
Glad to take any questions?
Questions?
Comments?
Comments?
I just want to say I appreciate being on resource subcommittee and then at the school committee meeting during this time of the year, what you all do to keep us up to date in terms of how things change, what positions were on the list but no longer are on the list, and what the needs are. And you make every effort, as school committee member Jeffries mentioned earlier, to come up with a budget that best meets the needs of our students and staff, and being kept up to date, there really isn't a big surprise along the way. I appreciate that, so.
Thank you, Jim.
Yep.
It is incredibly helpful.
I think before we go into discussion amongst school committee, I think we have to ask if there's any public comments.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. Okay, we're good with the presentation?
Yep.
So I invite many members of the public, the one member of the public, if she would like to speak on public comment? Okay. Well, all right.
I'd just like to echo, Deanna, DJ Tardif, for the record. Echo and appreciate the fact that you guys have put countless hours, feel free to never log them, that's terrifying, into the work to make sure that our schools can operate as effectively and, get the needs of everybody met, and that green bar was very comforting for,
It's comforting to me.
yes. So just thank you all, appreciate all the work you do, not only for the budget, but for everything. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, DJ. Okay, seeing no further members of the public.
I actually did have a quick question before.
Oh, well, we're going to have deliberation
Oh, we are?
amongst ourselves.
Oh, okay.
So once all the members of the public have spoken, then we will entertain a motion to close the public hearing, and then we'll deliberate.
Motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
Motion and second to close public hearing. Any comments or questions of the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, that's unanimous. The public hearing is closed. Now the school committee can deliberate over the budget.
Lindsay?
Now I can ask my question. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So I was looking, and I noticed a couple of lines that had increased, more than others. And I believe that Mr. Roach might have explained this one. There was a technology expense increase of 214%, roughly. And was that
Yep.
largely in part, or I guess partially due
Was
to
that the replacing of the Chromebooks?
Technology
Chromebooks that you had
expenses, yep.
mentioned, the two issuances or two installments, I
I
think?
have it up, Jeremy. Would you like me to
I'm
read it?
looking at it,
Yeah.
too, yeah. I think the biggest thing there is, we had been using, with the post-COVID funding, it came out in 3 phases, ESSER 1, 2, and 3, and those were used pretty significantly for large purchases of Chromebooks and related technology, especially hardware. With ESSER phasing out last year, we were only able to purchase one. We like to do 2 phases of graduating classes, grade 6 and grade 9, because that allows for at least a 4 to 5 year opportunity for the students to utilize the Chromebook. By that time, they often are ready for upgrade, I guess is the best way to put it. But we redeploy them. We redeploy them to the elementary school Chromebook carts, to the kindergarten carts. They don't use them as often necessarily, but they do, especially as they get up a little bit more in elementary. So this year, we definitely need to do 2 cycles, and teachers. So we weren't able to really do that last year, and we did have more significant challenges with the budget, I think, especially with the indirect costs. There was some, I think what I've also learned in budgeting is surprises aren't good, and there were some not good surprises last year, especially as it related to health insurance and some of those increases. So we just weren't able to make some of those hardware investments that we believe we're in a better position to be able to do this year.
Okay.
Go ahead, Bob.
In reference to the Chromebooks, we order new ones every year, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Replace some of the old ones.
Yep.
You refurbish some of them, like you said, they go to the Rhine-Go or some of these elementary
Yep.
schools use.
They have a shelf life of
They
what,
do.
5 years? About
Yeah,
5 years?
approximately.
So would you say every school district have enough Chromebooks, like maybe, how about Goodrich, or do they have enough Chromebooks for everybody? All the students?
We're a one-to-one
Yeah.
district.
Right.
We're a one-to-one district, meaning that we have a Chromebook. Every student has a Chromebook.
Right, that's what I meant.
So yeah, we do have enough, but we just have to replace them right now for this cycle. So replacing it, having 2 replacements, will get us what we need right now.
They can't be reconditioned and be reused again?
No, after 5 years, their shelf life usually stops. But like what Jeremy said, if they are able to be used, we shift those down to the younger grades. Because what they, like K1 and 2, they don't use them a lot.
Right.
But for what they need them for, they can be used. So we kind of move them down the line to the younger students.
And
Just like with, yes, older siblings.
With the
Younger
hand-me-down
siblings,
clothes.
Get all the
and shoes, yeah.
hand-me-down clothes.
Get me down.
I will say the IT team that we have that is really focused on network functionality, but also the hardware, they do a tremendous job. The team that Eileen Spinney, so Patrick Reardon, Chris Turner, Nathan Walker, Dina Gagne, another couple of folks who are work in the schools, they really do maximize the unit duration, I guess, the best way I can put it, the longevity, if you will. And that said, they do have a shelf life. They're used hard, they're used with vigor in the learning process. So we definitely do, know that the students need a tool like this. And, when you think about the Chromebook type units, when you look at the price of a hard copy textbook, especially for one of these science courses at the high school level, it's not much different. $300-400 for one of those textbooks sometimes, and the Chromebooks can come in. They have increased, I will say, but they roughly are in that range.
So
for clarification, every middle school student and high school student each has their own Chromebook that they take with them home and back and forth. Elementary school, it's just on the carts, is that
Yes, they have a
correct?
cart, but it's in their classroom.
Back in the classroom, right.
But they do have access to it.
Right, okay. It's a nice, I think, thing that we do so that each student has a computer, which in many cases they might not be able to have one. And I will say too, I think at one of the, was it mentioned by Eileen Spinney that we do have hotspots as well? No? I can't remember.
For internet available
Yeah.
for families?
Yeah, I know the library does, they're increasing the number of hotspots.
We have like 80 of them at the library.
During
right?
COVID, we have hotspots, but I don't think we continued using them.
But there's, I think, I forget how, it's bumping up to about 60, 70, 80 that can be checked out. I think it's for a week or two. So if they didn't have internet access at their home, they could check out with a library card, a hotspot, so that,
That's great.
yeah, they could
They
do
check
that.
out hotspots?
Yes, yes, you can.
There's like 80 of them. You could take it on vacation with you.
I was just thinking, I could work on
It's a
vacation.
great, yeah.
So you just have to have a library card?
Have a
Library
library
card.
card, library card.
Given one.
And it doesn't cost anything to have a library card.
Vacation.
So my last question on regarding this is, the fact that we're purchasing all these Chromebooks and giving to the students, you know, I think all of us remember when we were in school, the books we used to carry. Am I to believe that we're decreasing purchasing of the books?
Yes.
In many respects?
Yeah,
Other than
They
some
don't have books.
STEM books and.
They don't have books like they used to.
They have
for
the
kids.
access, so we use curriculum lines like HMH, Eureka for math, the HMH would be literacy, Open SciEd for science, social study has a mix, every other courses have different ones. Typically, they get a license, and they get access to the curriculum materials through that site license. I will say, those are not free.
No,
As Ms.
we
Colon
have our
knows.
own lines for curriculum materials in the curriculum department. So the budget that lists the curriculum line is inclusive of all those materials. That's why our curriculum budget goes up sometimes. But curriculum resources are, you know, they come with a very hefty price tag. And we do review things very thoroughly. So there are things that we've opted not to repurchase because we found really efficient ways of utilizing student materials. There are also other things like the student resources that we do prefer to opt into because the students can annotate right inside text, and like it actually helps build up their literacy skills to be able to do those things. So there are a lot of intentional decisions by, you know, with the curriculum resources that we have. But yeah, most of them are on our lines.
Right.
There is still a curriculum line on the high school, but that's mostly
Yeah.
used for like their
The
department
one-off
needs
stuff.
and, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
But you're right, Bob. Not only do you have textbooks now, you also have a Chromebook that you're carrying. Kids utilize a lot of those materials now online.
And apps, because we
And apps, yeah.
also have to pay for the apps. So that also comes
Yeah.
out of the curriculum line as well.
That explains all the backpacks the kids have these days.
Yes.
Oh, man.
We also at resource meetings, Eileen Spinney usually attends meetings, and we're always asking her, do you have enough Chromebooks? Do you need any more? We always try to make sure she has a few supplies extra in case we run into problems, so we're always saying, do you need any more? She's very good.
Sounds good. Okay, thank you.
I have another.
Go ahead, Lindsay.
Okay, forgive me for not maybe already knowing what is in this line, but the school committee expenses, I don't know what would be encompassed in that, but I noticed there was a 250% increase.
Yes.
And I was
can
curious.
I can speak about that. So a lot of it was already in there. We have about $6,500 for the Massachusetts School Association of School Committees costs that
I was wondering.
need to go
licenses
for
and
the conferences that you attend, being a member. But we did add a $30,000 increase because there was discussion about possibly going in front of city council and talking about a stipend for this board.
Oh, okay.
So because there was discussion, Jeremy and I thought we would put a placeholder there of $30,000. So if that did happen, we
There's
did
a
have money
placeholder.
saved or had money set aside for that. Whether it happens or not, we did place that in there.
Okay. So the MSAC event in what, November?
Yes.
Conference, thank you,
Yep.
the joint conference, thank you. So is that something that it's paid for by us? I thought completely?
Yep,
Okay.
we pay for that, yep.
Just so, what we do is they pay for registration, we pay for our hotel, and then we get reimbursed in mileage.
Yep.
And it's going to be in Haverhill this year.
Yes, they're moving it.
Yeah.
Which is
Okay.
good.
Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah.
We were meeting the divisions, we were meeting in like a little tiny room,
Yeah.
Division 9, our urban
I get the
district. It
grouping.
was,
Yeah.
it was kind of sketchy.
Yeah, yeah.
We need,
New venue, which is great.
yeah, we
I'm
need,
excited
it
about
needs a
that.
new venue.
Oh, that's good.
All right. Thank
Any
you.
other questions on
problem.
any of the lines or any of the budget items? All right.
No,
If you do
just
have any questions, let us know. Oh, Debbie, yep.
comment again, it's nothing new, but when you're looking at the special education and transportation, we got to just keep it out there that if we can find a way to somehow bring some of that here, because that's a big part. Yeah.
All right. Yes. And I just want to acknowledge Mr. Roach. Thank you, Mr. Roach. This is part of Mr. Roach's position, but he does a really great job doing this and putting together the budget. A lot of discussions with Mr. Roach, a lot of long meetings, but thank you, Mr. Roach. Thank you to Melissa Dandini and the entire principal team, all the administrators for putting this budget together. We appreciate that.
Yeah,
And we'll
we
be back
appreciate all
here
the
on the
work.
18th for the vote.
I have a question for Mr. Roach.
Yes.
What else did you think about during that 26-mile run in the marathon?
I was thinking about some of these 50% increases. How to get transportation. The best part of the marathon, honestly, was when you are in Boston Common in the morning, you have to line up, and you wait in carols, essentially, to get on a yellow bus that will take you from downtown Boston to Hopkinton High School. So there's hundreds and hundreds of yellow buses. They're all lined up in that little cut across in between the Common. So I'm in the carol, I'm waiting, I'm seeing buses. So finally I get up to where I'm in the next group of 40 or 50, I'm gonna get on this next bus. Don't you know, Fitchburg Public Schools was the bus, and that was literally the only one I saw in the whole group of all of us. It was the only Fitchburg Public Schools.
And I get the photo of Mr. Roach going, "What are the odds?" It's awesome.
That's a good way to start your morning. It really is. That's a good omen.
And then I talked to everybody, and they fell asleep about, let me explain all the school transportation. They all left, went home, they didn't even run the marathon.
That's why you notice when you see pictures of Mr. Roach, he's always by himself on the course because he starts talking about all kinds of school department things.
Just
They
scatter.
scatter, they run faster.
True.
But that is the great thing about the school committee conference is you get to talk with a bunch of other nerds who really appreciate talking school transportation costing, right? Or the needs of, learning about the Holocaust or, all those different kind of things. The things that your
Genocide.
friends just really don't want to talk to you about.
Common minds.
Okay, so we're
We got one
all
more.
set with budget discussion?
Yeah.
Okay, so we will be coming up for the
May
vote
18th.
May
Yeah.
18th.
Yep, we'll get it tightened up.
I have just grants left. So we have one grant that we like permission to submit for Mass Cultural Council in the amount of $5,000 that will support Crocker, South Street, and Rheingold's work with Mass Audubon. And then we need approval for 2 grants to be accepted. The first one is from the Community Foundation of North Central Mass in the amount of $7,000. This will provide some new support data reporting software for our after-school programming. We're going to be piloting some new software. And then lastly, we have the McKinney-Vento Homeless Education and 21st Century Community Grant from the Mass DESC in the amount of $20,000 that will support 21st century programming after school for grades K to 3.
Nice.
Okay, that's all, Mayor. Back to you.
Thank you, Superintendent Thompson. Okay, we have 2 action items before us to approve to submit a grant and to approve the acceptance of grants.
Make a motion to bundle items 26626, approve the superintendent's recommendation to submit the following grants for the Multicultural Council, and for items 26627 for the recommendation to accept the grants for the organization, CFNCM organization developed by McKinney-Vento.
Second motion to bundle?
Motion and second to bundle 26626 and 26627. Comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we have the bundle before us.
Make a motion to approve the bundle?
Second?
Motion and second to approve the bundle. Comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
That's unanimously approved. Other business, none, no executive session, adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion and second to adjourn. I'll take that by unanimous consent. Thank you.
709. 709, 708.
It's like the earliest ever.